Ah.
Hello, what's up, friends? I can't believe it's Thursday, the last Thursday in March, and I have some friends with me tonight. Welcome to Radiant Rap. I have Lisa and I have Anna, and I'm going to introduce them. But if this is the first time you hanging out with me on Thursday, we're always speaking about things that help us to be healthy and whole and radiant. And the conversation lately, I have been including conversation about hormone health. So I'm so excited to have Lisa and Anna here with me tonight because we really need to keep this conversation relevant to help normalize it. Like, I'm realizing that the more I talk about it, the hormone health, the more I'm finding that we need to share. Like, people either don't want to talk about it, there's miseducation, and I feel like I have two really good friends that can help us tonight. I feel like Anna and Lisa, I feel like we're trailblazers because who gets on Facebook and social media and talk about hormones? I mean, you got to have guts to do this, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel, anyways.
Yeah.
But let me
Yeah.
just tell you, friends, family, saints, and ain'ts, both my friends,
Mm.
first of all, they love the Lord. Like,
Mm.
I just know I haven't even known them that long, but we're colleagues, but they love the Lord. So they're very boastful about how much they love him. Now, Anna, who I'll introduce first, she's a wife, and she is proud to say she's a mother of four. Two are here and two are in heaven. And she lives on the West Coast. Both my friends are like on the West Side. Are you in Orange or Orange County, Anna?
I'm like borderline Orange County and LA County. So,
Okay. All right. So let me just brag on you just a little bit more. Okay. Anna, it was for 9 years an OB/GYN RN, and now her passion is as a doula. She loves helping women to and she attends multiple home births. She's helped women with birth centers in the hospital, vaginal births. She just loves helping women to find ways to care for themselves and to care for children. So she's really into education, advocacy, and encouragement. And I love that. So Anna, hold tight because I just want to say hi to Lisa too and introduce Lisa as well. And Lisa is also a West Coast girl. I don't know. I think you lived in Portland at one point,
I
right?
did. Mm-hmm.
That's where you met your husband. Like, she's
Yep.
been married forever. Oh, Anna's a wife too. I don't know how long you've been married, Anna. How long have you been married?
10 years. We're going on 11.
Oh, she's just a baby, Lisa, right?
Yeah,
That's
she
so
is.
cute. But
I
wait
love
now,
it.
10 years
Yeah.
is still especially in 2023, that's a feat. So, 10 years. Lisa's been married 31 years,
Oh,
and she
wow.
has four children and three grandchildren.
I do.
And Lisa, she used to be a fitness instructor, but now she's like just more focused on living a toxin free life. So she stays in the know so that she can do that. And she loves adventures. She's adventurous. I got to learn more about that about Lisa, but I do know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is my guest, right? I'm so excited that they're here. Anna, can I
Yes,
start with a question with you? Welcome.
absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to address some of the questions that you guys might have and hopefully answer some of these questions.
Thank you. Well, one of the things that let's just first start with the definition of hormones. Can you give us a good definition of hormones?
So, I'm not going to go into like medical terms
Yeah, please.
because I think, that's what sometimes confuses us. But the way I like to explain hormones is think of them as keys that open up systems in your body to either make them work or not work. And so we have different hormones, and women's hormones change throughout our cycle, which is usually 28 days. Other women, I mean, it changes for everyone. Every woman has a different number, but usually it's 28. And so every hormone that goes throughout the cycle has a specific way of working in our bodies. And so, again, it either opens up that door where it's going to allow your body to work appropriately, or it's not opening the door.
I like that definition. I really like that. Lisa, do you like that?
I do. I love that because you're talking specifically about what naturally just happens, is supposed to happen in the body.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
Yes. And what I like too about the three of us on here is because, I mean, you and I, Lisa, are on the menopausal side. I mean, but we've been through the cycle side as well. And we were on, Lisa and I don't think you made that call, but we were on a call on Tuesday night where we had women that I think the youngest one was in her 30s.
30.
And all the way up. And one of the women was 34 and had a hysterectomy already.
Yeah.
But what I find is, as I'm talking to women, if I ask them about hormonal health, they'll automatically, maybe it's because of my age, they'll automatically say, oh, I'm still having a period, or I'm not going through menopause yet. Almost as though they're not correlating hormones and the fact that they're in their cycle, right? How would you explain to women, like, what symptoms are common that they may not recognize as, that's could be your hormones?
Well, I think we can all recognize the PMS, right? That's usually the one that we focus on the most. But throughout our cycle, there's different changes in our bodies. And so one of the major changes that we can recognize is the fluid that comes out of us, our discharge. And our discharge
when we have our
changes.
period?
No, before
Okay.
we have our period. So discharge is one of those things that actually indicates a lot of what our hormones are doing. And so, and you got to think of it this way. Our body is constantly trying to get pregnant. That's what periods are. Your body as a woman was intended to bear children. And so if your hormones are working properly, that system is happening. And it's the eggs are constantly going and traveling in different areas. And so the final one being the release and having a cycle, like, our period. And so a lot of this is not explained to us, right? Because we go to the doctors and we just talk about symptoms. And so the issue is understanding what is our hormone actually supposed to be doing. And so when there's an influx of the hormone, there's symptoms. So some women will notice it on their skin. Sometimes your skin is like completely clean and no pimples. Then there's sometimes where you have pimples. Sometimes it's breast tenderness. You'll feel the tenderness there. And you'll notice that because normally you don't have that. Some women will experience nausea. Some women will experience a heightened libido. Again, our bodies are trying to get pregnant. That's why we have all of these symptoms. And so when we start paying attention to that, you start to notice, like, oh, what was that? Like, you start to pay attention to these symptoms, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. But sometimes these things are looked at as bad because they cause discomfort. And so what you want to do is support your system so that it can properly work the way that it was intended to.
Mm-hmm.
So changes in vaginal discharge is not a bad thing.
Mm-mm.
But
Okay.
we have a medical system, or even like in society, where we think these changes are not natural, that are there's like certain things that are like, why am I having this? Like, you go and do things to clear it out, when in reality, we're actually messing with it and making it bad for us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean like possibly like birth control or IUDs, things like that? Or is that
Yes,
what you're referring to?
yes,
Okay. Well,
yes.
I noticed, Anna, in a conversation that we were having the other night with a lot of women who were having things that weren't necessarily natural, like a lot of fibroids and pain, and maybe, I guess, for particular women, like one was so funny talking about how her boobs would get so big, like during certain times of the month. And I also have heard that complaint too. So some women are experiencing a lot of pain or discomfort as well during their cycles. Lisa, you were on that call. What did you find?
First of all, let me say, Anna, I appreciate everything that you've said so far. There are so
Yeah,
many things that women just don't understand about their own bodies. And
yeah.
so now that I am the advanced age that I am, and I've been
Mhm.
postmenopause for 5 years, right? It still, there can still be changes. The thing that I took from this call with all of these women, Anna, they literally had varying symptoms, but I believe so many of these uh, symptoms related to hormonal change or things that they've been going to were brought on because they've been treated by their OBs or MDs in a way that wasn't natural. And it
Right.
was like birth control, stopping the cycle. I know a young lady right now goes on a massive dose of birth control. It stops her cycle altogether. I would love to have, and I know we don't have the time to do that in such a short call or on Facebook Lives, but in a big open forum, have a conversation about how it is that when women are utilizing things such as birth control and allowing in the form of a hormone, one way or the other, and allowing it to alter their own natural hormone and how that affects them overall from the time of taking it to the time of menopause. What does that do? I think I know the things that it did to my life, but I'd love to one day maybe take a deeper dive into what that really looks like and
I,
what the side effects of that is. But I love what you've brought to the table in this conversation so far, because you have a really deep knowledge of a woman's cycle in general, right?
right.
Overall.
And that reminds me too that um on the call too, that a lot of the women were saying like they had been on birth control since they were like 13 or 12,
Hmm. Hmm.
because their cycles were irregular. And so maybe that interfered, like you're saying, Anna, with um, some of the problems that they were having. Like, and so you're really opening. I thought I had already learned a lot this week, but even just in the little time that you spoken, I feel like it's opening up even more understanding for me. I know for myself, I was on birth control for a really long time.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, Lisa, I'm on the other side now. Um, and still we have some symptoms. I mean, I know all of us are promoting a new product to support women. And we're not able to diagnose or anything like that. But we've just been getting a lot of feedback from women like myself. I know, Lisa, you're using the formula for menopausal health. Anna, are you using a formula, or do you know of other women that are using the formula? And can you tell me a little bit about if it's helping you personally, or
So
the other
I
women that
did.
you're supporting?
Well, it's interesting because I did start taking it when it came out, and so I was really excited because I too was on birth control in the past, and I think we all have bought into like this is what we're supposed to do, and especially if you're trying to make sure that you're not pregnant, that's the only option that is kind of out there. Now people are talking more about a natural way, which is great, and just learning your own body, learning how that cycle works. But when we're talking about hormones, hormones really do mess with us like really bad. And one of the key things, if you look into it, and I hope you do, Lisa, look into it a little further, but you'll get to understand that osteoporosis is one of the major things that we as women experience as we get older, and it's due to our hormone, like the usage of hormones, and the loss of certain hormones. And so when we start messing with that, you start losing the bone density because of that, and it affects us. And so one of the things I teach my daughters, because I have two adult children, I teach them our bodies are constantly trying to stay in homeostasis, so they're always fluctuating up and down, up and down. But when we don't give the proper nutrition to our bodies, what happens is that your body's going to take it from somewhere. And so that's what's happening. It's taking it away from your bones, that density, what it needs, and it's utilizing it. So what happens? You get depleted there. And so that's the difficult part, is that what you want to do is make sure that you're giving your body the proper nutrition, the proper supplementation, if you're not taking it from your food intake. And so this is why I was so excited about this product, because it's supplementing those areas that we're so depleted in. We eat fast food all the time, or we're eating the wrong things, and because nutrition is really not taught to us at our medical, in our doctor's offices, and so, being a registered nurse, I came to realize that, like, why are we not learning these things? Why are we not understanding what would be a preventative way to take care of our bodies? And so, in the past few years, I've been diving a lot more into my nutrition and to understanding. And so I know I've shared with you guys, a year ago, actually, my daughter was diagnosed with a cyst, and they had to remove one of her ovaries. And so ever since then, her body has been changing, and she has been having some symptoms, that, it just displays how her hormones have been changed because of that removal of the ovary. And so I was really excited about this supplement. However, it's not really working for her. But see, this is where it's really neat, because for her, it's too much. It actually is exaggerating all these symptoms that she was experiencing. And so she's like, I don't think I want to take this, which is fine. And I think that's one of the things that we need to understand, that these products may not be for you, but it may be for you. And so the nice thing about this product is that it's clean, and you can take it out of your system like So my daughter, it actually just happened. So yesterday she was still on it. She decided not to take it overnight. And today she's feeling fine. Now, with hormones, once you start taking them, they start messing with you.
Yes. Staying in your system.
And they stay in your system
Mhm.
and they've already messed up your system.
Yeah.
What I love about this is that it's a natural, it's like eating an
Mhm.
apple. You're going to maybe have, the ability to go use the restroom a little bit smoother today because you ate an apple, but once it's gone, it's gone.
Right. Right.
And that's what I like about these supplements because they're clean. And so for me, they've done wonders. I love it. I've been
Yeah.
able to sleep better. I've been, my symptoms have diminished. But for my daughter, it hasn't done that. So,
Okay.
I think you just got to understand that what works for one person doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for the other. But you
Good
can
point.
try it.
Right.
You can try
Right.
it and not feel like it's going to end up hurting you because
Right.
you can turn around and say, I don't want it. I don't like how it's making me feel. But then you might turn around and say, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever experienced. I
Mhm.
don't know about you guys. What do you guys think?
Well, I
Lisa?
had a kind of a deep conversation yesterday about with a man about normalizing this conversation, and we were talking more about mood swings and things. And I got into the topic briefly about being toxin free because that's huge for me, and removing processed foods and all of those things. So, in relationship to what you're talking about, to become toxin free is not pain free. It does not come without some suffering to become toxin free. Your body builds up these toxins from the hormones that you've been given or whatever you've been given. And you've just touched on this so well that our bodies store that. It does not come without headaches or um, nausea or breaking out in your skin. To become completely toxin free is not an easy thing to do. It can be done. I'd say I'm probably 80% toxin free in my own home and still will suffer from other side effects of things that I have put in my body years ago. So, yeah,
Mm.
I know that this product, the over M side for me helped. At first I was like, oh, there's no way. I mean, I do what I can for my body now, and I probably don't need it. Well, then last summer I had yet another hormone change. And you touched on this already. A discharge happened that was different and hadn't happened in 5 years. A breast tenderness and a low back pain. And all of a
Wow.
sudden I thought, I'm dying or there's something changing. And so I did go into my doctor for a blood work and discovered that my hormones had just those estrogen levels had just had a massive drop, whatever was going on. The Ova M came to me at a time that then I was like, okay, I'm trying it. I think that I need it now because my hot flashes had started again. And it's been fantastic. I've sleep so deep that I dream. That's rare. And the hot flashes are under control again. So
Wow.
yeah. Anyways, I love this conversation. I think we should have so many more of them, and we can get real specific because there were a bunch of girls who jumped on that call on Tuesday that talked about endometriosis, fibroids. What is the other thing that women have? POs, VCS.
PCOS.
Yeah,
PCOS. I talked about
I know
that.
nothing about that because it's not, I didn't have that. I'm past it. My girls don't have it. So, there's a lot to talk about here. And we could unpack so much every time we talk.
Yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate your candor. Like I said at the beginning, I feel like we're trailblazers, like being bold enough to have these conversations on social media where we, we just don't want to have these conversations. And I'm not saying that other women need to, you know, expose their business on social media like this, but somebody has to start these conversations in
Yeah,
order for
normalizing it.
us to become healthier.
Mhm.
Like if we have no idea, like even when you said, fluids, I'm like, what are you talking about? Your period? No, I'm not talking about your period, Shannon. Okay, so I'm like, oh yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a cycle for 20 years, so I know that. But I appreciate you. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Thank you for your time, Anna. Do you have any last words you want to say before we go? One
I I
tip
think
for some people.
I I think if you're questioning whether to try it, I say try it. They're
Okay.
really, I think the worst thing would be that you don't like it and you remove it from you, but you won't be doubting, should I have tried it?
Mhm.
Especially if you've been dealing with things and you want to supplement and try to help your body, I say give it a shot. And another thing, take the junk out of your life.
Mhm.
Like try to take out the bad nutrition like as much as possible. And we're not going to be 100%. I still am not, but try to take all those things out because the more you do that, the better your body is going to respond, including to these things.
Mhm.
So I would just encourage you to just go out there and give it a shot. If it
Mhm.
doesn't work out, it's okay. Just like I told my daughter, I'm like, it's okay. It didn't
Yeah.
work out for you. It's okay.
It's
Yeah. Works
okay.
great for me. Right.
Well, this so happens that for today and tomorrow, we have like a discount. So it's a good time to look at the products. I'm going to put Lisa's information and Anna's information here so you can reach out to them if you'd like. And as always, just start where you are, do what you can. You have greatness inside of you. I believe in you.
Mhm.
I love you. There's nothing
Amen.
you can do about it. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Anna. Bye, everybody.